Gandamu, Gandamu, Shmo, da 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 da.
Hey guys, today I'm going to be taking a look at reviewing the RE100 Jagd Doga Quess Pariah version. This is a P-Bandai kit, and it's one I've been looking forward to for a while because first of all, the RE100 line I believe is amazing because it brings us some of the more obscure models and ones that don't look like a lot of the other ones where I love Gunpla, but it's 10,000 different variations of the Granddaddy or the Zaku in some kind. The RE100 gives us these out there looking, like not standard looking models like the Nightingale and this one, as well as the Hama Hama and the Bawu and such. So this is one I'm looking forward to, and I'm going to tell you guys about the lore and the articulation and just about the model in general. Alright, let's go. Now, as for some basic info, the official name of this is the MSN-03 Jagd Doga Quess Air Custom. It is a RE100 line, and it is a 1/100 scale. It was released first on January 21st, 2019 as the vintage, on February 13th, 2019 for the second batch, and April 2019 for the third batch. It cost 4,860 yen and was a P-Bandai exclusive, though it is still available on certain websites. I actually bought it on Amazon.com. Usually I get them from random Gunpla shops around here because I live in Taiwan with readily available access, but this is one I wanted, so I ordered it online from Amazon. It took me 3 hours and 5 minutes to build in one setting, and so far I have done no modifications, though I am planning to sticker it up, panel line, and top coat, as well as maybe a little weathering. I haven't decided just quite yet. Now, as for the lore, there is a lot to get into here. The reason why there is more lore than, for example, I put in this one than the Nightingale is because someone like Char spans multiple arcs, multiple everything, but Quess Pariah is a little different because her appearances are almost completely limited to this entire arc, whether it's the official theatrical release version or whether it's the manga or whatever it is. So that being said, let's start by taking a look at the mobile suit. The MSN-03 Jagd Doga is a new type use mobile suit featured in Mobile Suit Gundam Char's Counterattack. It is piloted by both Ginny Guess and Quess Pariah. As a side note, there was a sleeve customized version that was piloted by Jagd Doga, whose name I can't pronounce as well, and it was featured in the Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn, the Noble Shroud manga. We'll talk a little bit more about the sleeves version a little later. It is based on the frame of the mass-produced AMS-119 Jagd Doga. The Jagd Doga was a special unit designed to be used by the Neo Zeon's new type pilots. It was developed using data from the evaluation tests of the AMS-120X Jagd Doga Saikukamu system test type and the AMS-119 Rote Doga, and has a psychoframe cockpit for controlling the 6 funnels stored on its shoulder-mounted funnel pod shields. Unlike previous mobile suits that utilize funnel weapons, the Jagd Doga cannot recharge its funnels. Other weapons of the suit include a beam saber with attached heat knife for close combat, 2 triple missile launchers behind the funnel pod shields, and a beam assault rifle for Ginny's unit, while Quess's unit carried a Mega Gatling beam gun. Only 2 units are confirmed to be built. The first, which spots a dark blue color and an antenna on its head, was piloted by Cyber New Type Ginny Gus. With his unit, he fought 3 times against Amuro Ray, who the first time piloted RGZ-91 Riguez, and the second and third time his own RX-93 new Gundam. However, during the third battle, his Jagd Doga was destroyed by Amuro and Guinea was killed. The second unit, painted red, was piloted by the new type Quess Pariah. Quess, however, later switched to the large mobile armor, the NZ-333 Alpha Azeru. In UC 0096, the Quess Jagd Doga was repaired and modified by the sleeves for their own use. Agira Doga's right arm served as a replacement for the original that was lost during the Second Neo-Zeon War. However, it also lost the right arm's funnel pod shield because of this. Other modifications include Agira Doga's backpack replacing its original one, 2 funnels for its remaining funnel pod shield, and it was repainted yellow and dark gray and given the personal markings of units used by the sleeves. Now, as for the pilot, I'm not going to get into all of the details. I don't want to quite spoil everything, even though there's a spoiler warning, because I really want people to go and watch Char's Counterattack, which was an amazing movie, or read the Beltorchika's Children manga, or both. But the pilot of this suit, as mentioned before, was Quess Pariah. She appears in Mobile Suit Gundam Char's Counterattack the movie, Mobile Suit Gundam Char's Counterattack Beyond the Time manga, Mobile Suit Gundam Char's Counterattack Beltorchika's Children, both the manga and the novel, Mobile Suit Gundam Char's Counterattack manga, and Mobile Suit Gundam Char's Counterattack High Streamer, the novel. That's a lot. On Earth, Quess was usually associated with a group of kids, and they would get themselves into trouble, especially with the police and at the expense of her father. After some chase in the original opening scene, she was eventually caught and handed back to her father, Aiden Core Pariah, who was getting ready to go into space to broker a peace deal with Char at Londinium. En route to Side 1, the shuttle carrying Quess, Adenir, and Hathaway, Noah, accidentally drifted into a battle between Londo Bell and Neo-Zeon forces. During the battle, Quess was jolted from her seat while trying to get a better view and was caught by Hathaway. After the battle, the shuttle was picked up by the Londo Bell ship Ra Kalum. At Side 1 Londinium, Quess stuck around with both Amuro and Hathaway while on leave, while her father had gone into secret talks with Char Aznavour. After the talks, Char was confronted by Amuro, but Quess intervened after hearing what Char said about how human souls are dragged down by the Earth's gravity. Sensing her devotion, Char asked Quess to come with him, an offer that she accepted. Her relationship with Char eventually caused a rift between Char and Nanai Miguel, whom oversaw Char's new type programs and was romantically involved with Char, as Quess sees Char as a romantic interest. It also causes Guinea Gus to become extremely jealous, as he had developed an interest in Quess herself and had his own ambitions. Quess Pariah was recruited into Neo-Zeon and charmed by Char, and assumed the identity Quess Air, which I'm assuming is where the name comes from, and was given a custom MSN-03 Jagd Doga painted in pink and red. For final information, please go watch Char's Counterattack or read the accompanying manga, because there's a lot more to her character that I don't quite want to ruin. If you are going to watch it, please note that you should have the background material by watching the original Mobile Suit Gundam, Zeta, Double Zeta, and anything else you can. Now, in terms of lore, who I would match this up with, there's a couple of different options that you can go with. I think it would actually look very good with the Guinea Gus Jagd Doga, and if you want to take it to another level, you can pair it with the Guinea Gus Jagd Doga and either the Nightingale or the Sazabi, because that would be awesome. Just put a little Neo-Zeon trilogy triplet thing going, which would look really cool up on a shelf if you're into Neo-Zeon like I am. As an alternate, I would put it up against the I'm trying to think here. I would go with the new Gundam Verka, because it would be a nice little Amuro versus Quess matchup. I can't remember off the top of my head what suit Hathaway Noah was piloting during the final scenes of Char's counterattack, but that would be another alternative and something to look into. But overall, you have a lot of great options for pairing this. Now, as for the build process, like a lot of the other RE100 kits, this is a fairly simple build, if I'm being honest. I believe I mentioned it in the unboxing, but with this kit you get the instruction manual for the Guinea Gus Jagd Doga, which was the standard release RE100, and you get a little inlet sheet that has some alternative instructions. But aside from the head unit, these were all pretty much the same. The only difference is they were telling you to use different runners for some of the things, even though it was the same piece. The reason they told you to use a different runner is because it was a different color. And then the other major difference is that you get a different weapon than the Guinea Gus. So you get the Mega Gatling gun, which is an awesome looking weapon. As for the build process itself, yeah, I said it in the opener. I snapped it up in one sitting over 3 hours. It was not that hard at all. A lot of the pieces that come with it on the runners are quite large. There's not much of an internal frame to really speak of, and you'll kind of see that a bit when we get to the articulation, but this thing has some major stability problems. But as I mentioned in the lore section, you do get the option with the P-Bandai. You can, when recreating the sleeves Jagd Doga, you can use the MG100 Gira Doga Unicorn version, which is another premium Bandai product, and you can recreate that look where, as I mentioned, there's only the funnels on one of the arms, and it's a different color. So if you do want to make this, you are going to have to be doing some custom painting. I personally wouldn't do it because I much like this color better, and I like this lore better because I love Char's counterattack, and I think Quess is a little bit more of an interesting character. But the second reason is, as much as I love P-Bandai kits, I am not going to cannibalize two P-Bandai kits to be able to make a kit I would be semi-interested in, versus one or even two. The Unicorn Gira Doga is another one I'm very interested in. The combination, as cool as it is in concept, and I do like that Bandai gives you the option, and they actually give you in the sticker sheet, they give you the markings, and they give you a sleeves. I don't have it on hand right now, but they actually give you a sleeves sleeve like you would get in the Sinanju or the Sinanju Stein or the Kshatriya or any of the other sleeves models, where it's a black piece and then you put the white stickers over it, or you can reverse wash it. But it's a nice look. I love sleeves options. You're going to see in a later review, I much prefer the Rebao to the standard Bao release, but in this case, I would rather just keep it like this model. So yeah, overall, build process was fairly simple. Now, on to the articulation, and that really is the biggest downfall of this kit overall. It has stability problems, and I knew that going in because I had seen and read enough reviews about the Guinea Gus Jagd Doga, and unfortunately a lot of the RE100s have some stability problems, or just articulation problems in general. The Nightingale, which was my first review, was famously a brick. The Hama, which is one of my all-time favorite kits, it does unfortunately have some stability issues, and it is going to be on a stand if you're ever going to kind of put it in any kind of dynamic pose. And unfortunately, this one kind of runs into the similar problems. But overall, these legs have some major, they cannot hold still. They, as you can see, you cannot keep them in any kind of pose. The fin funnels, sometimes they choose to stay on, sometimes they don't. In terms of actual articulation, let's get into it. The head moves about that much up, and you get some nice downward movement and upward movement. As you just heard, a piece fell off. Yeah, that's gonna happen with this kit. I'll figure that out later. You get some nice movement on the shields. The shoulders go 180. That's about the bend you get when it comes to the shoulder. Side skirts up and down like that. I'm sorry, the fin funnels just go flying everywhere. These side skirts, they go up and down. You are going to have a bit of a trouble keeping them on because they do pop off a bit. Back skirts, impressive movements with the back skirts. Legs. Yeah, that's about as much as you're going to get with the leg. And back. You do get some nice back action, though it won't keep. And impressive spread. Like I said, when you're actually touching and handling and dealing with it, it feels a bit cheap because it does feel very hollow, and in a lot of ways it actually is very hollow. There's not a lot going on inside. Like I said, in the build process, there's going to be not really any internal frame. It's a lot of big pieces slapped together, kind of like the Nightingale. So you're going to need to put this up on a stand if you want to do anything with it. Sorry, the feet, that's what you get, and that's as much of a pivot. The swivel is pretty good, and not really any kind of a crunch going on here. But see, I'm a sucker for big kits. I love me a good big kit, and this thing is massive. You will see in the size comparison that this is quite a large model, but unlike something like the Sazabi for Ka, which felt super stable, super articulate, super everything, this one has a lot of problems. It looks awesome, and it wasn't cheap, but it feels like cheap plastic when you're dealing with your hands. So what you want to do is just find a nice pose for it, stick it up on your shelf if you got the space, and then never deal with it again. As for the accessories of this kit, here they are. Most of what you're going to be left over with is a lot of PC parts, the polycaps. You get 2 beam saber effects if you choose to use them. And as I mentioned earlier in the build process, you get the extra sleeve here that you can use with the stickers when you want to recreate the unicorn Jagd Doga, I believe, the sleeves Jagd Doga. Other than that, you get these pipettes, and you can hook them into the back, and what they do is they will actually hold the fin funnels like how they would if you had the P-Bandai extension kit for the Sazabi or the Nightingale. Speaking of those funnels, they are the exact same as the Sazabi as far as I can tell. I do remember hearing or reading that the connection on them is a little, it's not the same exact size, so you can't use this with your Sazabi for Ka, unfortunately, but it is a nice little option if you want to mount the funnels from the back. The piece goes in right here, and if I can pull it up, I have it. Yeah, here's the piece. It hooks into the back of the backpack, and you hold it. I'll actually show you what it looks like a little later. Other than that, you get this nice shield. I actually much prefer it to the Guinea Gus Jagd Doga shield, just purely on color. And I don't know if I said it before, but I generally prefer this much more than the Guinea Jagd Doga. That one has its own lore and its own everything that is interesting to get into, but the color scheme and everything on this looks much better. And another thing that I believe looks better, sorry about that, is the rifle. You get the Megazuka. This looks freaking awesome. I still need to put a sticker in there, I believe, but overall, this is awesome. And she looks cool carrying it with these extra magazines. Overall, I just absolutely love the look of this and everything about it. So, yeah, other than that, what you're going to be getting is polycaps. A lot of extra polycaps. Throw these in a box with your extras in case you need them for any other model. That's pretty much what I do. But a little light on accessories, but the ones you do get are awesome looking. As for the size comparison, this is a big whopper of a kit. Here you can see it next to the Double Zeta Verka, which is a big chunky kit in its own right, and you can see that Quess Pariah is actually much chunkier. Here it is next to best friend and mentor, the the Nightingale, and yeah, the Nightingale's got it beat, but as I've said before, it's got it beat in most cases, but it's about as tall. Well, no, it really isn't, but it's still a big kid. And finally, here it is next to the P-Bandai 144 RG Zaku mine layer, and even up on a stand, it is much bigger than the mine layer, which, wink wink, keep an eye out in the future for a review of that. Overall, I'd say I have some mixed feelings about this kit. Overall, it's a beautiful looking kit, and it's so out there, and like I said earlier, it's always good to see a kit that doesn't just look exactly like your garden variety Granddaddy RX78-2 or just a standard Zaku or anything like that. So it is out there, and I love that it does take a chance and it looks out there. But I can't recommend anyone buy this specific kit over just buying the standard RE100 Guinea Gus, though I would highly recommend buying the two of them together because those two would look awesome. But it does have major stability problems and the articulation isn't great. That's not to say I don't love this kit and I'm trying to scare anyone away from it. It does have a lot of cool features and there's a lot of awesome things about it that I would highly recommend. But I can only recommend it if you're willing to pay a bit of a premium for some nice shelf looking aesthetic pieces. If not, go with the cheaper regular RE100 Guinea Gus version, because that version is not going to hurt your wallet as much. I don't regret buying it in the slightest, but I know that I was thinking with my heart, not with my wallet when I bought this. But overall, this is a great kit, and I love it, and I can't wait for you guys to be able to see this and hopefully get one of your own, whether it's the standard or the P-Bandai, and enjoy. That's the review. Take it easy, guys. Enjoy.
Gandamu, Shmo,